Hey, Natasha Lair Lewis here from Big Rock Organics, and welcome to week 12 of the CSA. Coming at you at a little different location. We're here at the shop, so we have a few new things this week, and we are looking forward to all these fabulous flavors. So come with me for a tour. Of course, we have our beautiful and lovely patty pan squash here. They are always fun, and they are coming to a little bit of a slowdown. Not too sad about that, to be honest, but those patty pans, hope you've been enjoying cooking them just like a zucchini. And just a reminder, if you've got too many of them, just put them in the food processor and grind them up and shred them, and then you can freeze them. And if you freeze the shreds now, you will be enjoying wonderful patty pan bread, zucchini bread, whatever, muffins, breads, etc. come winter time. So even now, as we get back to school and the weather has been feeling very fall-like, I hope you have been concocting some delicious things. I'm also going to be including a recipe this week for a mock apple pie made with the zucchini and patty pans and such. Because they have such a benign flavor, you can really flavor them as anything. So I'm going to put that in there so that you can have an after school apple pie made with yours truly. All right, we've got some of those onions this week, the red long of Tropea onions. Yes, they look a lot like shallots, and no, they are not shallots, but when we do have shallots, because we do have some growing, it'll be fun to feature those. All right, we got some tomatillos this week. So I do want to tell you a little bit about these. We wanted to make sure you had at least one of these guys in your tomatillo bundle. Now this variety, I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but it's a new variety that I tried this year, and it is amazing. So I would actually eat these raw, and it has a flavor very similar to a ground cherry or a husk cherry, I believe they're also called. We have grown those from time to time. They're delicious. It's fruity, it's sweet. I'm so excited about these. So we tried to make sure they're just kind of starting to come in. Try to make sure you got some of these in addition to the other tomatillos. I think we have two different varieties here. These are like your traditional green tomatillos, and then we've got some of the little ones. And I thought these were purple tomatillos, and I'm not sure why they're not. Maybe they cross-pollinated with all their friends. But anyways, we got three different kinds of tomatillos, and we'll be featuring a tomatillo recipe from Caroline, one of our helpers. It's a tomatillo salad. She says that it is her most requested potluck food she makes all the time for everybody, and it's a fresh tomatillo salad, so it's not actually cooked, and you can enjoy these guys raw. They have a little bit of a tangy flavor, and they are a firmer texture. They'll last a long time in the fridge too. You might want to just take these husks off, but they'll last a long time, or roast them and make your traditional salsa verde. So we have some hot peppers this week. These are your jalapeños. I mean, just look at the size of those jalapeños. It's so amazing, isn't it? They are so wonderful, thick-walled. You could make those stuffed jalapeños. Also, we're going to put a recipe in for candied jalapeños. You can just make a very small little batch of these, put them in the fridge, and they're so good. Literally, I canned so many candied jalapeños last year because when these were done at the frost, I harvested so many of them, and I canned probably about 24 pints of candied jalapeños, and they're my new favorite addiction. So they're kind of sweet, like a bread and butter pickle, but a jalapeno. So jalapenos this week. We have lots of cherry tomatoes. I hope you've been enjoying those. They are just delicious with everything. Try to get into the habit of having some just around to snack on, because you will find that all the different flavors, are just going to make your palate kind of go for the healthy snacks instead of the, potato chips and things like that. We have pak choi this week. This is a bigger variety of pak choi. In the spring we had that baby pak choi. This is normal pak choi, and you can cut up the whole thing, add it to a stir fry. I will say we do have some little holes on the surface. That is from just not having it covered perfectly to protect it from those little flea beetles that cause the holes in the surface, but it's just as delicious. And chop it up and saute it, you won't even see it. Add it to a nice stir fry. Stir fries are my favorite way to kind of use up the box if I'm trying to get rid of the last few weeks that's in my fridge, and getting room for my new box is my favorite way to use that up. We're welcoming those large tomatoes, all different colors. We've tried to pick some of them a little bit on the edge so you can continue to use them. Now, as we get into these large tomatoes, my favorite thing is to slice them up and then take and put on a balsamic reduction. It's a thicker, like sweeter glaze almost that you can add. It's so delicious. You can also take and slice some of that fresh basil up and drizzle that on there, and maybe some burrata or mozzarella, and that is wonderful. Just enjoy those fresh, the best way to do it. But of course, you know, with all these fun ingredients, I do see a pico de gallo in my future, and that could be a real fun possibility too. So lots of good flavors. All right, poblano peppers. These I just love as a fresh pepper to chop and add to things because they've got a little bit of heat, but not too much. They are kind of like between a bell pepper and a jalapeno maybe, but I love poblanos. So a couple poblano peppers this week. Oh, the peppers have just been fantastic. They're so big and so bountiful. Really enjoying those peppers. We got a couple of bells this week. You might even get a few that are starting to ripen. They need some time to mature, but also cooler night temperatures to ripen into the reds and the yellows and the oranges. So hopefully pretty soon here, especially with the temperatures this week, we'll have some of those bell peppers ripening to different colors. But I just love, you know, Peter Piper picking a peck of purple peppers. You can't get better than that. Potatoes, we're gonna work on digging some more potatoes this week. We got so many potatoes on the horizon coming your way. Also, gonna take a look and see how that winter squash is doing down at that field as well. Pretty excited about that. This one, folks, is a super treat. I just love rosemary. So we do a little bit of rosemary. Honestly, it takes so long to grow. We don't do a ton of it, but you guys are getting a little early rosemary, and you'll get a little rosemary later on before the season ends as well. We're trying to cut it earlier so that hopefully it will branch off and create a little bit more, but it's very slow growing, it seems, but it smells heavenly. So fresh rosemary, I could see that with the potatoes. I could see that with maybe even some of the squashes, maybe a little chicken pot pie or something like that with some of that fresh rosemary. And it dries beautifully too. A lot of times I'll just hang this up from the rubber band somewhere in my kitchen, and then I have my dried herbs as well. We have a new crop of cucumbers coming. They just started. Very excited about that because the old vines are kind of on their way out. And so new crop of cucumbers. Keep those cucumbers coming. You might even get some lemon cucumbers this week too. Those are those little round ones that are kind of yellowish and, you know, just something different. And of course, more zucchini. We do have a new crop, believe it or not, more zucchini. A new crop of zucchini and yellow squashes, different kinds of yellow squash that will be coming up soon. I try to plant, you know, in succession, several different crops, one after another, so that we have, you know, different things coming along. So these guys are doing great, but we will be welcoming some yellow squash soon. And last but not least, we have a new crop of carrots. These are they're like a rainbow carrot, so you might get a variety. This one leans a little bit more towards the purples and whatnot, but lots of greens on those. So if you're inclined to do some carrot green pesto, or just chop them and add them to your salad, they are very tasty. They're kind of like a parsley almost, with a carroty flavor, and nutritious and everything. You don't want to use the stalk, of course, but you can use the soft leafy greens here. And those little carrots are going to be, coming along here. They're a little bit of a slower growing carrot. Not sure I really like this variety, but you try different things. So that is the box for the week, and what a bounty, what a beauty it is. I love when you get into all these different colors and all the different textures and flavors. So enjoy, friends. Happy cooking. As always, share your recipes, share your ideas, and we'll see you all next week.